Farish Gobalya Trim. Welcome to Trim and to Matt and Michael's latest lockdown. Behind me is Trim Castle, very familiar to all our viewers. And this fellow is Hugh de Lacy, who built the first castle on the site. Hugh was an Anglo-Norman lord who took part in the Norman invasion of Ireland and was granted in 1172 the lands of Meath by King Henry II. Of course, he then had to take control of them from the native Irish. He built the first castle at Trim, a wooden one, which the Irish, under the High King Rory O'Connor, burned down. Hugh then had that rebuilt and gradually spread the control of the Normans over the lands of Meath. In 1186, Hugh de Lacy was killed while building a castle at Durrow in Offaly. His son Walter succeeded as Lord of Meath, and he continued building the castle until about 1224. The ruins of Trim Castle are one of the glories of beautiful Meath.
Dia is Murieve Golair, Accordia. Hello everybody. Today I plan to celebrate my own native patch. My native county, County Meath. How am I going to do that? By singing Beautiful Meath. The song Beautiful Meath was actually written by a Cavan man, would you believe? Yeah, a fella called Derek Nelson was his name. Not that long dead, God rest him. But anyway, this song Beautiful Meath was very kind to a Meath lady called Mary Duff, who sang it with great success. So Beautiful Meath was very good to Mary, and Mary was very good to Beautiful Meath. And my late friend, pal Michael, used to sing it as well. So between Michael and Mary, I hope they don't mind if I give it a lash. What's different about Meath? Well, nothing much visually, but it's part of the Emerald Isle. But I tend to tell people, if you really want to get in touch with the soul of Ireland, you want to see County Meath, and the Boyne Valley particularly. And you come across places like that you won't see in very big print anywhere. Places like the Hill of Ward, which is just outside Athboy, and the name Thlachta, which is associated with the Hill of Ward. And Thlachta was a druidess who was given to a lot of festivities and stuff in medieval times, mythological times even. And in fact, Halloween, that we all know so well, was actually born in the Hill of Ward, County Meath. Trim is well established, is renowned for its castle. And what some people mightn't know is that the history of Trim was updated in 1994 when Mel Gibson selected Trim Castle as the backdrop for his great film Braveheart. Navan is only 9 miles away from where I am, has its own attractions. Kells has a round tower, and it also has a small medieval oratory, a bit like Gallerus Oratory, but it's called Columkills Oratory. And it's actually regarded as being the place where the final chapters of the Book of Kells were written. That's in Kells. Slane then has its own, well known for its hill, the Hill of Slane. And it's also known for rock concerts in present day terms. And also the birthplace of Francis Ledwidge, poet. And then St. Patrick was supposed to have lit a fire on the hill of Slane. And Old Castle, which is a beautiful place, is next to Lough Crew, which is well worth seeing. Medieval tomb underground passage, and there's North and South Passage graves. New Grange everybody will have heard of, officially known as Brunabonia now, I believe. And then there was Tara, which is just up the road from here, which was the seat of the High Kings of Ireland once upon a time. And there's a lovely hill in Screen. And all those places contain artefacts of historical interest, dating from pre-Christian megalithic tombs to the 12th century castles and monastic buildings. So I hope you'll enjoy both your visit to Trim and the song Beautiful Meath. But I should say that interspersed with all those beautiful places, you'll find lots of places to find the pint of the black stuff and lots of lovely eateries where you'll find food, of the highest quality. So enjoy Meath and the song. Thank you. I've travelled many counties in Ireland, but there's still one I'm longing to see. It's been a part of my homeland, and it brings back fond memories to me, where I wandered alone in my childhood, reviewing the sights I have seen, as I walk through the parks and the forests, round the beautiful county of Meath. Oh, beautiful Meath, you're all that I need. Your rivers, they flow with delight. Your fields are so green, there's plains to be seen, and your towns are so gay and so bright. Walking down by the Boyne, I remember the time you would think it was all just a dream. And wherever you roam, there's no place like home, and the beautiful county of Meath. I've seen all its beautiful castles, and its history I've learned so well. I've read of the High Kings of Tara, and the wonderful book of Kells. The hill of Slane still remembers St. Patrick. He lit a fire for the people to see, as he brought love and kindness to Ireland and the beautiful county of Meath. Oh, beautiful Meath, you've got all that I need. Your rivers, they flow with delight. Your fields are so green, there's plains to be seen, and your towns are so gay and so bright. Walking down by the Boyne, I remember the time you would think it was all just a dream. And wherever you roam, there's no place like home, and the beautiful county of Meath. Oh, beautiful Meath, you're all that I need. Your rivers, they flow with delight. Your fields are so green, there's plains to be seen, and your towns are so gay and so bright. Walking down by the Boyne, I remember the time you would think it was all just a dream. And wherever you roam, there's no place like home, and the beautiful county of Meath. And wherever you roam, there's no place like home, on the beautiful county of Meath. Thank you.
Here's a poem about the burning of the first castle of Trim, the wooden one. In fact, it's an excerpt from a very long poem called The Song of Dermot and the Earl, which was written in French in the early 13th century in England. And it tells about the arrival of the Normans in Ireland in 1170, including Strongbow and Hugh de Lacy. And of course, it's written from the Norman point of view. Then Hugh de Lacy fortified a house at Trim and threw a trench around it and enclosed it with a stockade. Within the house he then placed brave knights of great worth. Then he entrusted the castle to the care of Hugh Tyrrell. To the harbour he went in order to cross the high seas to England. But when the King of Connaught heard that Hugh had fortified a castle, he was enraged at the tidings, went at once to attack the castle. O'Connor, proud King of Connaught, with him brought O'Flaherty, MacDermot and MacGerrity, O'Carbery and O'Flanagan, O'Dowd and O'Monaghan. King Melaghlin went also, and his neighbour King O'Rourke. King O'Carroll went also. O'Neill, the king of the Kinnell Owen, brought with him 3,000 Irish. Towards Trim they set out marching to demolish the castle, and the Baron Hugh Tyrrell sent to the Earl a messenger at full speed on a very swift horse, and he told the Earl how the Northerners were assembled, and all the kings of Lough Cuin, to throw down the keep, the castle, and the stockade. And the Earl promised him that he would aid him. He called all his men to be summoned throughout Leinster speedily to march to Trim to encounter the Northerners. But before the noble Earl arrived with his men, Hugh had abandoned his charge because he had not sufficient force within the castle nor without to offer fight or combat without the help of the Earl. When the English were gone and had abandoned their house, the Irish arrived at Trim. Their numbers I will not tell, how many thousands there were, for you would think I was lying. They threw down the rampart and levelled it even with the ground. But first of all they put the house to flames. When they had accomplished their work, they retreated altogether to their country, the wicked tyrants. To Trim the Earl went with all speed, and with him many a valiant vassal. But when the Earl had arrived, by the river he then alighted, for he found there standing neither house nor cabin, big or little, within which he could take his ease and lodge for the night. Then the Earl made proclamation, and commanded that all should straightway mount, and he threw himself on his horse, and set off on the straight road, pursuing at a great pace. So much did the Earl exert himself that he came up with the rear. He charged them speedily, and the Irish, who had no armour, then scattered themselves by sevens and eights, by threes and fours, so that they did not hold together. And the Earl then slew of these men 70. Then he made retreat to Dublin with great confidence, and Hugh Tyrrell went back to Trim and refortified his fortress. After that he guarded it with great honour until the arrival of his lord.
Hello everybody. I hope you are all ready for a little romp with me down the street of Napoli with the song That's Amore. You have always been When the moon hits your eye like a big piece of pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you shrill, look up pasta for soul, that's amore. When you dance down the street with the cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream and you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, like an old Napoli, that's amore. That's amore.
When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine,
that's amore.
Bells will ring,
Ting-a-ling-a-ling,
ting-a-ling-a-ling,
you'll sing Vita Bella.
hearts will play, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella.
Lucky fella.
Stars make you drool just like pasta fagioli.
That's amore.
That's amore. When you dance down the street with the crowd at your feet, you're in
Love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, I can go Napoli, that's amore. That's amore. Thank you.
Feeling good to be back home with all the smiles, saving up a third for 3,000 miles. Went the farm and board, soon we're put before us, and a splash we roared, joining in the chorus. Never a beer for sure, has been brewed so pure, taste and don't be sure you'll taste the real beer flavour. Mass will satisfy, and thirst not been so dry, and here's the reason why it has a smoother flavour. That's bass. Whack the lolly. Trim Castle. His attempts to hobble aging take him daily past this solid structure, which has survived 8 centuries careful neglect and careless cherishing. It has no whiff of other world, no scent of anything more sacred than grim survival, the push to breed, bind stone on stone with oxblood mortar. In the shadows of evening, this poet, who weaves a web of mystery and belonging based on rough landmarks far away, would do well to appreciate the tower, the curtain wall, the gatehouse, monuments to measurement, planning and power, structures and systems, the temporary home of that blow-in of uncertain nationality, Hugh de Lacy, whose only image shows a right hand cocked to draw his sword, defend his brief scrap of earth. The tourists queue at the entrance. From the castle top you can see for miles.
We'll finish this week with a song from a group called A Few Shapes. My son Oisín is drummer with this group. His cousin Peadar, also involved, and 2 friends, called Gaz and Big John, and they recorded this during the lockdown when they were in Dublin, Trim, Navan and London. The album is called The General Malaise, and this song, which is bilingual, Irish and English, is called Robin Hood Music. With it, we'll show you some pictures from the spring garden. We hope you enjoyed this week's show, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meantime, take care and God bless.
When I thought that things were right, there was Phil. I was under one strange curse, Phil. Everything was happening just in spite of me being me. When I thought that things could not turn round, Phil, I had gone and hit the ground, Phil. Everything was happening just in spite of me being me. Now your time is flying by. He's gone in the blink of an eye. Think it's high time we talk, you and I. Just in spite of me being me. Now your time's flying by. He's gone in the blink of an eye. Think it's high time we talk, you and I. La 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 la. La la la